Thank you, Ambassador.
Chancellor Schultz, Your Excellencies and ladies and gentlemen, it is a true privilege to join you in honoring the Ukrainian people for their courage and their heroic fight for a future that's rooted in dignity, decency, and democracy. Across Ukraine, people are courageously defending nothing less than the right to a fairer, freer, more prosperous country. And I hope you will permit me to speak from my heart as well as my head tonight. September is back to school time. According to my mother, I sharpened my pencils early in August, being so eager to go back to school. For millions of Ukrainian children, the first day of school this year was not one of excitement. It was anything but one of excitement. It was just a confirmation of the bleak season of war. This for children. I learned from my father, who fled Nazi Germany, and from my experience as a teacher, a scholar, and a university leader, that education goes far beyond reading, writing, and arithmetic. Education at its best effectively empowers us to stand up for our convictions and our commitments. That is why tyrants lose no time in taking control of schools. I was always excited to go to school because having no one in my family who ever could graduate college and coming from a very low-income family, I knew that education was the key to opportunity, not just for myself, but for my entire family. Russian bombs have wantonly damaged and destroyed thousands of Ukrainian schools. Almost half of the nation's 6 million children, half of those children have been brutally forced from their homes, far away from their fathers, whose lives are on the front lines. 2 million children are estimated to be living outside Ukraine. They're either logging on to school remotely or doing their best at integrating into classes taught in foreign languages. On behalf of my country, I thank Poland, and I thank Germany, and I thank all the countries in Europe for all they're doing for Ukrainian students and their refugee families. And I say we should give them all of our appreciation. This is one of the many critically important ways, humanitarian, economic, and military, that Germany is aiding Ukraine in their defense of democracy. We must never forget those children. The Ukrainian people are on the front lines of the battle for democracy. Russia's war of aggression in Ukraine is one of the many conflicts around the globe where our basic democratic freedoms are threatened. To defend democracy, 3 words, to defend democracy, that is the defining challenge of our time. The courage of the Ukrainian people today builds on the efforts of all those who over the past 3 decades have dedicated their lives to strengthening democracy, to fighting corruption, and to defending a sovereign and free Ukrainian state. Every day since February 24th, the Ukrainian people have demonstrated their courageous commitment to these values, and the world has taken note. As President Biden and Chancellor Schultz both have emphasized, we will be with the Ukrainian people for as long as it takes for them to win. We will be there. Just as the Ukrainian people surprised Putin, as President Biden has said, they also inspired the world with their sacrifice, grit, and battlefield success. An even stronger Ukraine will emerge from this conflict. We say to all who would try to divide us, you will not succeed. You will not succeed. You will only bring us even closer together because we are absolutely united in our mutual defense of democratic sovereignty and the freedom of our citizens. We shall not waver in our support for the Ukrainian people in their fight for freedom. They are also fighting for us. A democratic, prosperous, and secure Ukraine is in all our interest. Neither the US, nor Germany, nor any country is truly secure unless we come together to respect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all nations and the human rights and fundamental freedoms of all people. No country alone can address the enormous threats we face. President Biden knows this, and we as a country are acting and doing our best to ally with everybody who is willing to do the right thing for our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. Only a free and open world and only free and open societies can effectively cooperate to develop and deploy the innovation needed to live up, to face our greatest challenges. Among those challenges are developing reliable and sustainable energy sources, addressing the impact of climate change, combating food insecurity, and tackling the threat of global pandemics. The proof of this: free societies share their discoveries. And an area where our sanctions are hurting Russia the most is its lack of access to critically important technology from the US and Europe. We have responded to Russia's invasion of Ukraine with unity of purpose and action. Germany has been a leader of this renewed transatlantic solidarity. Chancellor Scholz, we watched with the utmost admiration and respect as you announced a historic turning point for Germany, a turning point that comes with concrete actions, deciding to modernize Germany's military, deciding to meet the NATO commitment of 2%, to guarantee a secure, diverse energy supply for the German people, and to never waver in your support for the Ukrainian people in their fight for freedom. President Biden and the US Congress have also been crystal clear about the unwavering US commitment to military, economic, and humanitarian support for Ukraine, no matter how long this tragic war goes on. The M100 Media Award is given to outstanding individuals who are committed to strengthening democracy. This year, without a doubt, no one is more deserving of this award than the Ukrainian people. They have truly inspired the world. Because this is a media prize, I also would like to salute the work of journalists who are covering the war. The Kremlin's invasion of Ukraine is one of many conflicts around the globe where journalists are risking their lives every day for the cause of freedom and democracy. The weapons with which they defend democracy are not those of the battlefield. But make no mistake, those weapons are essential to countering Putin's campaign of misinformation and disinformation. That, too, is a brutal campaign. Thanks to courageous journalists, we have been informed and educated by images from Ukraine and messages of the greatest immediacy. The extent of devastation and the human toll of this war is as necessary for us to witness as it is painful. For many, it revives memories of World War II. And I have to speak personally in saying, if we mean never again, we must be with Ukraine until it wins. For all, the journalists are documenting the war's impact on the children of Ukraine, daughters and sons who have the right to grow up in a world where freedom and opportunity are the norm, not the exception. Children who have a right to look forward to their first day of school, to sharpening their pencils, not to counting the number of burned out tanks or ravaged homes and hospitals on their way to school. Freedom and opportunity for all, that's what democracy is about. We have yet to achieve the full promise of democracy, but only democracy holds that promise for those young children. This is why democracy is worth defending. And this is what the people of Ukraine are doing every day for us all. So let me conclude by simply saying, we honor them and we will always stand with them. Thank you.